Hello everybody, it's Bendominator, and today I'm going to be theorizing a bit about what we could see happening in Season 7. But before we get into the video, if you guys enjoy the content, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, because I make videos like this all the time, and if you really want to support me, you can use my supported creator code Bendominator in the item shop, #ad. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. Now keep in mind, all of this video is going to be speculation, which means I'm pretty much just going to be thinking of a ton of ideas that I personally really like to see, not necessarily any ideas that are super likely or that are going to happen. So just keep that in mind before watching this video. Now, what I think would be really cool is that next season, which is Season 7, would actually be the finale of a 3-season arc. And that arc starting with Season 5 when the 0 point is initially revealed, and then ending in Season 7 when it is contained somehow, or just generally stopped. But yeah, I think it would be really cool to have the 0 point stick around for one more season and just have this really cool trilogy where you have Season 5 being the beginning of it, Season 6 kind of being the middle of the arc, and then Season 7 being the grand finale of the arc with hopefully a really cool live event. And that would connect all three of those seasons together with a common theme, which I dub the 0 point arc. And I personally think that would be a really cool way to kind of finish out this whole 0 point thing, just making it a trilogy of seasons. We've never really had something like that before, and I think it would just be really cool. But what would Season 7 actually look like theme-wise? So this idea was actually given to me by a fellow dev team member of Royale, Swirls Oh My. He's on my Discord server, so if you want to check out my Discord server, the link is in the description below. So the idea is that next season would be Ice Age themed, kind of continuing the survival theme from this season and moving it into a harsher, colder climate. This season would include things like ice weapons, ice effects on those weapons, new Ice Age inspired POIs, saber-toothed tigers and woolly mammoths as wildlife, and even more things that you could possibly expect from a Ice Age season. Now personally, I think this idea for a season is really cool. It would be a great way to expand upon the things that were introduced in Season 6. And if you combine this with my idea for the 0 point arc, the 0 point and the spire would still probably be there. Maybe the spire would be quite a bit different, but the 0 point would still be there, maybe still being contained, maybe being out in the open again. But this would be the season where the 0 point is contained for good. And maybe to explain this drastic change in climate, at the end of the season, maybe the Foundation loses his grasp of the 0 point. It ends up getting revealed again, maybe causing major damage to the spire point, and releases another huge reality wave upon the island, causing it to turn all into snow. And in terms of POIs that would be replaced by new ones, I personally think that a lot of POIs on the outer edges of the map should definitely change, but not too many of them. So I would say that Colossal Crops and Bony Burbs stay, but they do have a different coat of paint because of the snow. But for obvious reasons, the spire point would definitely have to change. Now, while I know this is not one of the outer POIs, it would have to change due to the sheer fact that the 0 point coming out of the spire point would definitely have some major repercussions in that area. So with each season, we usually get about 3 brand new POIs being introduced. So let's go ahead and apply that to this season. If we change the spire point to something completely different, we still have 2 more POIs left to change. So the first one that I'm going to say should definitely change is actually Retail Row. Now Retail Row is already kind of in a snowy spot, with it being right next to a snowy mountain, and we've seen it be covered in snow before. So I think that this would be the perfect place for them to have some kind of ice village, similar to places like Bony Burbs and Colossal Crops, but a bit more Ice Age themed. Another POI that I think should definitely change is Weeping Woods. And now, I'm not a huge fan of Weeping Woods, mostly because of a lot of the trees that kind of make it very hard to fight and build in that location. But for this change, we actually wouldn't be getting rid of the forest element. In fact, it would become an even more integral part of this POI. The log cabins could definitely change to be more like a Ice Age themed building, much like the ones that would be at the new Retail Row, and it would be a prime spot to find the new wildlife. Now, the main issue with this season is that it would be taking place in the summertime, and for a season that's so heavily about snow and ice, that might seem a little weird. Though they did have Season 5 during the winter time, which had a big focus on the sandy environments. It was definitely not the type of season that you would expect during the winter time, but they still had a lot of the map to work with, and they could still add snow to a big chunk of that map. But for the Ice Age idea, at least in my head, most of, if not all of the map would actually be covered in snow. And it would pretty much be the opposite of what you would expect from a summer season. And for me personally, I'm really hoping for them to do some kind of summer-related season. So, unfortunately, I really don't think this season would fit. But hey, this video is not about what's likely, this video is just about theorizing and coming up with some fun season ideas. And I really do think this would be one of the best ways to expand upon what was built off in this season. And yeah, I think it would just be really, really cool and fun. Now, I'm not going to go as in depth about this one as I did with the last one, but I do have quite a bit to say about how I think they should do a medieval season. This has been an idea that's been flying around the Fortnite community ever since they introduced an update with a lot of different night-themed skins. And while I don't personally think this kind of season is actually going to happen, it is pretty fun to theorize and think about. Now, if they're going to try their hand at a medieval season, I think they should definitely add some kind of twist to it. Lately, Fortnite seasons have been pretty unique with their themes and ideas, often going a different route from what you would expect. So if we ended up getting kind of a medieval season and it was just that, a medieval season, it would be kind of boring. But I feel like they would be able to introduce some kind of new element to make it more unique. One thing that scares me about this though is that if they were going to do this, I feel like mythics would be a nightmare. Back in Chapter 2, Season 4, they introduced superpowers to many of the brand new POIs, and I feel like if they're going to do a medieval season, I could really see Fortnite taking those ideas with superpowers and turning them into spells, which could be fun if they balance it correctly. So my idea is that instead of having to go to a location and killing a boss to gain this new mythic spell, you'd actually have to craft it. So say that there's a spell in the game that allows you to super jump. Let's say that you actually had to use shockwave grenades to craft this spell. And let's go even further and say that there's actually an item that you can get from searching chests that's called a spell tome. This would definitely be one of the rarer items to find, and if you combined a spell tome with a certain item, you would be able to create a spell. So maybe you could combine a spell tome with shockwave grenades to create some kind of super jump spell. And personally, while I don't think that would be the best idea in the world, I think it would definitely be better than having to go to a mythic boss and get a spell that way. Especially because multiple people in the match would actually be able to get spells on an equal playing field. But yeah guys, those are the main theories that I wanted to talk about what Season 7 could be. I am kind of expecting a summer themed season to happen, but hey, who knows, anything could really happen with Fortnite. You never really know what to expect. That's going to be about it for this video. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, because I make videos like this all the time. You can also use my support to creator code Bendominator in the item shop if you guys really want to support me. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.